is up to all of my little unicorns, new and old? It's your girl West Indie Ray, back again with another information-filled video. Now I figured, since I haven't done a lock video in a while, and since my 1 year and 6 month Lockiversary and a half is tomorrow, I show you guys like how I'm retwisting my hair these days, how it's coming along, maybe do a little length check, all that. So here I am doing it. Now I'm just gonna let down the back of my hair. I've already separated it, but I just wanna let down the back because that's the longest part of my hair so that you guys can see how long my hair is these days. Yeah, so that's where we're at with it. If you guys don't know, when I first locked my hair, it was like right here when I pulled it down, and then it shrunk up to probably like right here. I'll see if I can like maybe add a picture or something like that, like a little, I'm just gonna put something right here so that you guys can see what my hair looks like. A video, something is right here, and I know it is because I said that I was gonna put it and I put it. So this is what my hair looks like now. This is a year and a half of it being locked, a year and a half of doing color every 4 months or so, and I have roots, you know. I actually retwisted the front of my hair yesterday because I went out, but I haven't really done a full retwist on my whole head with like a good holding product in maybe like 2 months. So last time I actually did a retwist, I was out of town and it was for my birthday on the 9th of March. So it was just one of those things to where I didn't have access to good products. I just had to stop at any old hair store and see what I can find. And my hair just did not last. So it's all good. I'll just do it again with products that actually work. And another thing about that too is that I didn't retwist it really tight. So I'm not really worried about my hair thinning out because I'm retwisting it too much, because it wasn't really tight. It was like a really loose hold. I just did it so that my hair looked good for my birthday, which it did. So I'm actually gonna go in with my regular products this time. You guys, I know this is a big topic of conversation on this channel especially, and just in the lock community in general. Like, what do you use for your locks? This is the only thing that has given me as tight of a hold as I like, that lets my retwist last for weeks. Now, my retwists can last for like 2 weeks when I use this product. This is Natural Elegance Lock Up, and I know it's terrible because you guys can never find it in the stores, and that really, really hurts my heart. I can't find it in the stores either. I literally have to get it from my sister. Like, there's a store by my sister's house that sells it, and that's where she gets it from. I don't know what else to tell you, and I'm sorry about it. So I just really like this stuff. Like, I wish that they had a store. I don't even know if they're still making them or if the store that she lives by just has a bulk supply and they've just been selling it to her or what, but this stuff is the bomb, y'all. Like, I haven't had any major problems with buildup, but it's like it's almost like marshmallows. If you guys can find another product that's like this, please tell me, because I will start testing that out and using it and seeing if I like it, and I will spread it around to everybody else in the lock community, I promise. I really want to be able to give you guys something that makes sense and that is accessible, but right now I just haven't found that thing. So if you know of a product like this, please drop it in the comments. I will buy it with my own money if I have to, and I will try it and spread the word, because this is honestly ridiculous. So yeah, let me know what you use in the comments section below, because I want to help the people, you know what I mean? I want to help the people. So before I get into the rest of what I'm using for this retwist, okay, even though I just majorly let you down with that first product, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, just hit that little button and then hit the bell little icon right next to it. It's so easy. What else are you doing besides watching this video and not occupying your thumbs? You might as well just use them for a good cause and subscribe and put the bell notification so that you know when I upload new videos, because I'm not always the most consistent content creator. So I don't want to tell you guys like every Wednesday anymore, because that's a lie, and it's proven to be a lie for the past few years. So just turn on the bell, because I want you guys to actually tune in to my content when I make it, and I'm not sure when exactly that is. And if you're new here, don't be intimidated by how sketch I sound by saying that. This is just the most peaceful and free-flowing place, and if you like to be in alignment, and if you like to free flow, you're going to flourish here. Also, while you're at it, please make sure that you go ahead and like this video, because you like content like this, and we want YouTube and me to know that we like content like this, so that I can keep making it and YouTube could keep boosting me to the top of their list, okay? All right, so what else am I using today? So it's this Natural Elegance Lockup. You guys can use any type of lock cream, lock gel that you like. This is just what I'm using because I'm addicted. I'm using my Love Potion number 9. Yes, this is the same bottle that I made in that video. If you click right up here, you will see exactly what video I'm talking about. Love Potion number 9 is not just because it's good for your hair, it's also because it's good for your scalp. It's also because I use this oil to actually manifest things in my life. If you guys are not up on West Indian Ray manifestation, get on it. Okay, get on it. And then of course my handy dandy lock tonic. Y'all know about this. If you click the video, boop, then you will see how exactly I make this. This isn't my original recipe of it, just because I ain't really have time for all that for this video. What's in this bottle right now is lock tonic, probably like this much, but then I just filled up the rest with aloe vera juice. So that's why it's this color. I highly suggest the recipe that I use for my lock tonic. But when you're in a pinch, you just make it do what it do. I've also got some of these clips. If you are a locked person, you know about these clips. Whether you retwist your hair yourself or you go to a loctician, you know, these clips are where it's at. I also have a towel. You'll see why in a second, even though my hair is not wet or anything like that. I have my FAMU shirt on. If you're a parent, send your kids to FAMU. So as well as showing you guys how I do my hair, I just want to kind of talk about how my journey has been so far with this whole lock thing. If I've had damage or like hiccups that I've had, bumps in the road, if any. So yeah. So first things first, I pretty much drench my hair with the lock tonic, because that is literally the way that I keep my hair moisturized. And then I use a little bit of this, not too much, just on the lock. When I retwist my hair, I try to make sure I'm pulling it from a direction that the hair is gonna go in. So I wouldn't retwist my hair back here down, because I know that I'm gonna more than likely pull it into a bun. So I'm gonna try to like get it somewhere in the middle, so that it's not like down and then up and there's not a lot of tension there. I just twist it at the root gently, and then I give it a little palm roll. I put it next to this towel, and then I clip it down. Now the towel is really only gonna be used for the first couple of rows of locks, because after that you can just clip your locks down to your locks that are already down, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you'll see. But yeah, so I don't really get a lot of buildup with my locks because I don't put a lot of products in them. Like you guys see me putting this lock up in my hair right now, but that's really the only solid product that I put in there. Everything else that I put in my hair is clear. The oil that I put in my hair is obviously clear. The lock tonic I put is a clear liquid. So I'm not putting a lot of, you know, leave-in conditioners or anything like that in my hair that will cause buildup. And so far I haven't had any issues. It's been 1.5 years and I have not had to do an ACV wash at all. I know ACV washes are supposed to be good for your hair just like in general, but honestly, if I don't really need an ACV wash, I would just not do it until I feel like I need it, you know what I mean? So once I get to the front, I feel like you'll be able to see a little bit better how I'm actually retwisting this. I don't really stress, you know, the bottom part of my hair too much. And this whole process for about, I think I have about 119 locks. I have an official lock count video, but I'm pretty sure it's about 119 locks. This entire process, I've done it in as little as 45 minutes before. So no fear, once you get really used to retwisting your own hair, it does not have to be a long, tedious process. I do believe retwists also get easier once your hair is locked, because you don't have to pay attention to as much of the lock. Like when your hair is very new, sometimes we have the urge to palm roll it all the way down just so that it's more uniform and things like that. But once it's locked all the way down and you literally only have to do the roots, it's so easy. Another reason why I probably don't get buildup is because after my retwist is like old and I don't really care about how it looks anymore, which usually happens about 2 weeks in, I rinse my hair often. And what that does for me is it kind of breaks up the buildup that I probably would have had from using such a solid product with this lockup, and it also rinses out a lot of the product. And another thing that really helps me is that when I wash my face at night, I always make sure that if I used edge control that day, I literally wash out the edge control out of the front of my hair, just because I don't want it to get all gunky and nasty and things like that. Okay, so this is what my hair looks like so far. This is what the back row looks like. I hope that it looks good because I truly can't see it, but I'm just going to clip it down with 2 clips like this. And this is gonna be the foundation for the next bunch right here. Okay, next topic in addressing lock concerns, because apparently that is the direction I decided to go with this video, is going to be lint in locks. I get a lot of questions about how to prevent having lint in your locks, and what I will say is this: I don't experience a lot of lint in my locks. Every once in a while I get a little like bit of lint, or I'll see like a little lint ball at the end, and I'll just kind of remove that as I go. But it doesn't happen like any more than maybe once every week or 2. And the reason for this, I believe, is A, because I don't have a lot of buildup in my hair, so it's not really the easiest for things to get trapped. And then B, I don't really have a linty lifestyle. And what I mean by that is I try to stay away from certain fabrics that are gonna be like pilly. I sleep on silk pillowcases. I try to make sure that I'm not holding on to old clothes that are deteriorating, because having that stuff around the house really does a bad job at keeping lint out of your locks. So if you can afford it, try your best to stay away from those fabrics, because it'll help you a lot in the long run. A lot of what we talk about with locks and lock maintenance is preventative measures. So if you just try to do your best to prevent lint from getting in contact with your locks, and you do your best at trying to prevent buildup by only putting clear liquids in your hair, you'll be a lot better off than trying to fix it once you have like hella lint balls in your hair. One of my theories about life is that it's made up of few principles in infinite form. So if the best way to handle sickness is to prevent yourself from getting sick using preventative measures like Irish moss, which I'll have a link down to in my description box below, and your teas and taking your vitamin C and eating healthy, if that's the best way to handle sickness, then the best way to handle any problem is to prevent yourself from getting that problem, right? I just applied that to my locks and it's worked out perfectly for me. Even so, I understand that there are a lot of people who are currently struggling with linty locks. So one thing that I would say for you to try out is lock brushing. I don't have a video on lock brushing, but I will find a good one and link it down in the description box below, just in case you can make use of it. So yeah, lock brushing is basically when people with locks take regular hair brushes and brush their hair with it to get the lint out. And that supposedly does a really, really good job at making sure that all the lint comes out of your locks. And you wanna kind of pay attention to your locks and hop on that situation sooner rather than later, because it's a lot easier to take out lint when it's on the surface rather than when it gets like burrowed into the center of your lock. So this is what my locks are looking like so far. And for those of you who don't know and who are looking at my locks like, what parting pattern is that? I don't have a parting pattern per se. The parting pattern that I followed was my heart. I actually started my locks myself, and I followed my heart when it came to the parting pattern and everything like that. I literally just pulled hair, twisted it up, and left it. And a year and a half later, here we are. One thing I will say is that I tried my best to be conscious of where I was putting the locks. If I did one group of locks and they were semi-parted a certain way, I would try to make sure that I did not put a lock right on top of that row so that it wouldn't be like a weird part situation to where you would just be able to see from here all the way down is like a straight line. So yes, I did start my hair by myself. I started my hair with 2-strand twists. I also started my locks on already color treated hair. I have a full video on how I color my hair, which you guys are free to look at. I also have a video on how I was coloring my hair before I locked it, so you'll be able to see how I did my loose curly hair. And I must say, I haven't seen any type of like major destruction of my hair because I've colored it. Even when I was loose and curly, I didn't really have a lot of damage or anything like that, but I've always been a big fan of taking care of my hair and making sure that it's moisturized and making sure that it has enough protein and things like that. And then when I do my touch-ups, or even when I was coloring it before, I never leave it on to process for the full amount of time. So that's why you'll see that this is really light and this is kind of like a brownish color, and then my roots are really dark. And that's because over time, I know that being in such close proximity to the actual part that I'm coloring, this is gonna get bleach on it next time whenever I do this. It's inevitable. There's really no way for me in my head to make sure that I get nothing on this part of my hair when I'm doing my roots. So I don't leave it on as long because I know that the next time I color treat my hair to do the roots, this getting a little bit of bleach on it is going to make it the same color as the lengths of my hair. Another question you all might have is like, what direction am I twisting my hair in, and does it matter what direction I retwist it in whenever I retwist it? Me personally, I always retwist my hair in the same direction. When I twist it this way, it's that way. When I do it that way, it's that way. So it's all going in the same direction all over, aside from like 3 locks right here. Just because I know that when I put my hair behind my ear, I don't like it to fold over like this. And this is primarily the side that I wear my parts on. So I'll do like this one, and this one, all back this way away from my face. And then all of these will still go in the same direction because, like I said, I wear my parts at the side. So this part is gonna go this way anyway, and it'll all be away from my face. So personally, I would suggest twisting your hair in the same direction every time. I'm really unsure on if there's any science behind it or if you have to. I do know that some locticians, they won't retwist your hair the opposite way, and they'll like really make a big deal about it. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that or not, but personally, I agree, and I would twist my hair or try to twist it in the same direction every time. I think it does get a little bit less complicated though when your retwisting method is palm rolling rather than interlocking, because I know with interlocking, when you interlock your hair, like they put a thing at the end and then they have to go through the loops and stuff like that. It's just complicated for me, and you have to do it like you have to start off where you finished last time in order for your hair not to come out like a weird shape or an undesirable shape, depending on what that means to you. And I know a lot of people probably think that I'm super against going to a loctician to get your hair done or to start your locks or whatever, and that's really not the case. Like, I think locticians are amazing. I think that some of the repairs that they do on people's hair are just amazing. The only thing that I'm really against is when people try to lie to you and tell you that you can't do your own hair by yourself. For me, having locks has been such a spiritual experience that I could never let somebody fool me into thinking that somebody else owns it or somebody else has rights to it. And I'm a very big fan of, let's all say it together, individualized journeys. People who are not new to this channel know that individualized journeys is what it's all about for me. That goes for lock journeys, that goes for spiritual journeys, that goes for journeys with finding out who you are and what your life path is. A lot of times we see what other people are doing and we see the happiness that they experience in their lives, and we mistake wanting the happiness to wanting what it is that they actually have. And I just encourage us all to get away from the physical things that they have, to get away from the occupation that they have, to get away from the look that they have, and focus on achieving that happiness inside of ourselves. Because a lot of times, to be honest, it takes something completely different for me to be happy than for you to be happy. If you want to go to a loctician to get the perfect locks to where they're just all uniform and you have a part pattern and it looks fire, go do that. I am not at all against locticians. For me though, I personally just love my journey and I love my experience, and I've done a lot of research on this, so I'm confident in my abilities to care for my own hair. Okay, so this is what the back is looking like now. And then I'm gonna get started on the front. Another thing that a lot of people have questions about, like for themselves, because obviously I'm in a relationship and I don't even acknowledge other men like at all. But people always wanna know, do I feel like I have gotten less attention since I've gotten locks? And I will say no, and I have statistics to prove it. Okay, so when I was a loose curly girl, I was on YouTube and Instagram. However, it wasn't until I locked that I got an influx of followers on both of my platforms. Now, everybody knows Instagram is the app for pictures and all that stuff. Well, my Instagram changed from being majority women to being majority men. I believe my Instagram was like 54% men or something like that. Now you do the math and you take 74,000 people and figure out what 54% of that is, and then like compare that to the 4,000 men who were following me before I had locks. Apparently men love locks, and when I say men, I don't mean just like one type of man, I mean all types of men, like DMs from your faves. All since I had locks, okay? Before I had locks, they weren't checking for me like that. It wasn't until I started posting my soulmate on my page that the ratio between men and women switched, and now I believe I'm at like 64% women. And I kid you not, on the day that I first posted him, I literally lost 5,000 followers. I would bet my bottom dollar that they either were all men or almost all of them were men. So if that doesn't tell you what you need to know about locks and being seen as feminine or attractive, I don't know what else will. Now, another question that I get often is how to be confident when you have locks. I just think that a lot of people, you know, they get consumed with the looks of it all and they might not be confident and feel like it's because they have locks or because they're in the quote unquote ugly stage, which I would say when you first start your locks, it's so important to decide that you're straight up not gonna have an ugly stage. I did that and it made it so much easier to embrace my locks at every point of my journey. Another thing I would say is to stop blaming your locks for your insecurities. Honestly, if you're insecure, you're gonna be insecure. If you're confident, you're gonna be confident. And to me, that's just all there is to it. Of course, there are other factors, and sometimes looking your best will make you feel your best. But there were honestly times in my life to where looking back on it, I was really looking good, like for real, looking good. And still somehow found a way to be insecure. Like, don't make it a thing to where you're just focused on your hair. Be confident, like, as a person. One of the easiest ways to achieve this is definitely to start doing affirmations every morning. And to my current followers, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but it honestly works. Whether you write them on a post-it note and stick them on your bathroom mirror, or you get an app that is going to tell you every morning when you wake up how fine you are. Affirmations literally saved the day when it came to my confidence, and I would recommend them for any and everyone. Also, really taking the time to get to know yourself and discover the reasons why you're so dope is gonna help a lot. And then of course, making sure that you limit or cut out the people in your life who make you feel insecure. Your friends who always have to be the hottest thing in the room, and their way to achieve that is by putting you down. If you have that family member who always tries to make you feel like crap about your natural hair, try to limit your time with them. A combination of these things will help you so much with your confidence, and that will pour into not only your looks, but your confidence when it comes to your ability to manifest your desires, to perform well at work, or whatever it is. Now, here's a little bit of a close-up of how I'm doing this. I'm just putting the product more towards the root and dragging it all the way down, kind of rubbing it in, and then just roll it like that. And then I always like to get rid of the excess and roll that down a little bit so that, you know, you're not doing a lot. But this white color is going to actually go away once it dries. And another thing that I do want to say is, regardless of what you use in your hair, just try to make sure that you don't use wax, because wax is known to be one of the worst things that you could put in your locks that will cause you buildup and a headache at the end of the day. So just try to stay away from wax. Now my front ones, like I said before, they're pretty much retwisted because I did them last night. So I'm not going to put any product on them. I only have one section left, thank goodness. Don't forget to come and pick up your feelings. Don't leave no pieces. So yeah, this is where we're at with it. This retwist is cute, okay? My hair still isn't long enough for it to go completely up into a high ponytail and like hang out of the ponytail. So I kind of have to like tuck it and stuff. I'll show you what that looks like. But it's not something that really bothers me too much. But the front does look very official. I haven't done baby hairs or anything like that, but they already look a little bit laid because of the fact that I put the product into Retwist. One thing I will say, if you are not the type of person to do a lock style when you retwist your hair, like for me, I don't like those updos, not really my thing. And I've also never done the 2-strand twists or anything that do a really good job at keeping your retwist fresh while also providing you with a little bit of style. I've never done it. My hair is really thick and I just don't know how that would look yet. But if you are not one of those people, one thing I would suggest to keep your retwist for longer, what I always do is my first style after a retwist is I put it up in a ponytail like this. It's not a tight ponytail. This only went around my hair once. I make sure that I loosen it during the night and things like that. But if you put it up in a ponytail or space buns or something like that, it kind of prevents it from unraveling as soon as you are done with your retwist. So yes, this is what the finished product looks like. I only retwist my hair once a month. So yeah, I hope that you guys really liked this video. I hope that it was informative for you. I feel like I covered so many things. So as usual, make sure you leave me a little unicorn emoji in the comment section of this video if you made it all the way to the end, and if you're hearing me say this. Make sure you also like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow all of my social media accounts right down there, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.